Hello fellow Photoshoppers, it is I, Mark Elmo Ellis, with another exciting tutorial on how to use Photoshop from PhotoshopTrainingForum.com, where we show you how to clearly and concisely use Adobe Photoshop. Today we're going to talk about how to use the selection tools more intimately than we did in previous videos. So this is a whole new level of video tutorials that we have on our site and on our forum at the PhotoshopTrainingForum.com. We have different levels of video, so this is going to be on level 3. Today we're going to look at how to use the quick selection tool in a specific way, how we're going to select certain items and move them around on the workspace. Okay, so to get into it today, we're going to discuss real quickly how to use the layers first, because this is kind of important. If you don't understand layers, and we haven't really gone into these yet, it's going to be a little bit more difficult for you. So, but it's not really hard, it's easy to learn. Just want you to know that in this particular image we have 3 layers. We have layer 1, layer 2, and then the background layer. Most of the time when Photoshop opens up, it opens up with a background layer to begin with. So that's always there. I added these 2 layers, and the way I did this, I went over this little menu here on the layers palette, and I clicked on it, and I said new layer, and then you can always type in what you want. Right, it gives you another layer. Now if you want to get rid of that layer, all you got to do is drag it down to the garbage, and it's gone. Okay, so I got 1, 2, and a background. Now on layer 2, what I have is, I have a circle. On layer 1, I have the horse's head. And you can turn these on and off at will, the different layers. See that? And I think I showed this on an earlier video. So if you don't know how to use that, just hang around. We're going to keep using them all the time. Okay, the reason this is important is if you use a selection tool, any of the selection tools, and you just try to click on any of this, you're only going to affect the stuff that is here. You're only going to be able to affect the horse's head in this case. Okay, if you go to layer 2, the only thing you're going to be able to affect is this circle. You're not going to be able to touch anything else. So forth. Okay, so, and if you're on the background layer, you're going to select the whole thing, and it's not going to affect any of this inside of here because you're on the background layer. So at any time, if you really get too confused about your layers, you can always go over here and go click on the menu item here and go up, and you can go down here and you can flatten the image or merge visible. And what that will do is this. See, it makes it all one image, so it's all together now. Okay, let's go step back a second here. Now you can go into history and step back anytime. Just wanted to make sure you know that. Okay, we're back where we started from. All right, so we're going to now use the quick selection tool, and what I want to do to make it real simple is I want to shut off the horse's head layer and the background layer. Now this circle has already been colored with a white background too. We could actually get rid of the background layer, which is what I want to do. I just wanted it around to show you how the whole thing worked anyway with layers. So we'll get rid of that. So we've got just 2 layers now. Got the horse's head, and then we have the circle. Okay, now we're just going to select this circle using the quick selection tool, and we're going to move it around a bit. So you go over here where you see the quick selection tool, and you click on the top one, slide it over, click on it, make sure you have it, and you'll notice there's a little plus in there. And if you go to the top, this is getting the quick selection tool, adding to the quick selection tool, and subtracting from the quick selection tool. I'll show you how these work. So we want to just select this circle. So you get the plus sign, and you see the plus sign in the middle. You click on the add to selection tool, click on this area, and it selects this area right in here, automatically selected it. Okay, now I've kind of picked a bigger brush. You can pick different sizes brushes, and I want to step back for a second. And I want to show you that if I pick a smaller brush, you got to drag it around a little bit, I think. Okay, so I made if you notice my circle's smaller, so I made it a smaller diameter. I'm going to click on this, I'm going to, oh, it just went ahead and selected it anyway. Sometimes it doesn't select the whole thing right away, and you kind of have to drag it around a little bit. Now there's 2 ways of deselecting, as I showed you guys in an earlier tutorial. You can go up here and go select, deselect, okay? Or you can go down here, you can just go on your keyboard, Control D, and that will do the same thing. Control D, or go up to select and deselect. All right, now we're going to just do the horse's head. And I want to show you that you kind of have to drag this around. So let's shut this off. And what we do is we're going to select the horse's head. We make sure we're on the horse's head layer over here on the right. We click on that. And now we're going to drag around until we get everything we want. Now these are all different colors, and a lot of these selection tools are based on the colors. They're grabbing colors, so if you have something that's all one color, it's going to make it very easy for you. You saw how easy it was for me to get that circle, right? But let's say I click on this white part of the horse's head. Now you notice it only selected that, but I'll hold down, I'll push down and click down on my left mouse button, or if you're using a pen tool, you'll hold it down and you'll just drag it, and it starts to select the horse's head. And pretty soon it selected the whole horse's head, just like that. It's a little bit down here that I forgot this tongue, so just slowly touch it and it'll include it. So anything you want included, it will include for you as you click and drag. Hold down your left mouse button and you drag it across. That will select for you what you need. Okay, so there you have it. And now I can go up here and grab the pointer tool or the selection tool and drag my horse's head around. See that? So I missed a little bit down here. You can see that, but overall, I got most of it, and you can easily grab the rest of it. And the closer you zoom in with a magnifying glass on there you want, the easier it is to grab things too. Okay, so let's go back to where we started from. We're back to here, and this time I'd say let's Control D again, so we can deselect. And now we want to select both the horse and the circle. But we have a little bit of a problem because the horse's head is on one layer, the circle's on another layer. And in this case, if we had the background layer back, let's make another background layer real quick here. Let's go to New Layer, type in Background, okay, and then hit OK. Okay, now we have a background layer, but we have to pull it down to the bottom because it wants to be in the background. Anything that's on the top is the first thing you'll see. So in other words, if we color this white where it is, let's color it white. See, it covered it up because the background is now all white. Okay, so let's drag it down to the bottom. There you go. Now we're back to where we started. Okay, just to show you how layers work a little bit more. Alrighty. Now we're going to select the horse's head and the circle, but they're two independent things because they're on two different backgrounds. So what we're going to do is we're going to merge one with two. So we go up, click on the menu item, scroll down until you see flatten image or merge down. Let's just do merge down. We're going to merge one layer on top of the other, and you'll notice now you only have layer 2. Now we want to select the horse's head in the circle, and there's two ways of doing this. You could either select from the inside out, which would be like this, and you'd start to drag, and then you'd have to do, and remember before, and you notice how it kind of looks like it's off a little bit here. There's another way that's easier to do that. I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay, so we've selected that, and we can, we can actually cut it. Right, it'll be gone. Paste it, move it around, so forth. Okay, but you notice there's this little bit here that we missed, and we could easily go back and get that. Okay, and Control D. All right, now I'm going to show you another way that's kind of easy to do that. We're going to use the quick selection tool again, so click on that. We're going to select the white area. Remember what I told you before when it's, and you'll notice, watch this, I'll click here and it'll have a little circle right there, right? And so when everything's at one color that you're selecting, it's a lot easier to grab that, right? So watch, I'll drag this, and like I said before, it's hold down the left mouse button and drag, or if you have a pen tool, just hold it down and drag it, push it along. And you'll notice very easily it selected everything that was on the outside. Now the only place where it messed up at was right in here. It selected the back part of the horse's head. It's a little bit difficult with this picture or this image, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to just select with this tool the white area, and I've been trying it and it's not working out as easy as I thought it would, but here we go. So I made my diameter of my brush a little bigger, went up here into the application bar, selected the size of diameter I wanted, I made it bigger. Now I'm going to drag it, and you'll notice it's dragging the white pretty easily, but it also selected this part around the horse's head. So what I'm going to do is I'm going up here, I'm going to click on the minus button, and we're going to push it out a little bit. And you'll notice it's going right along the circle. See? Now, but you want to cut this part out in here. See, if I go up here and I hit cut now, I'm just cutting out the white part of the image. See? I just cut the white part out. I turned off the background. See that? So let's go back. Right? But let's say we wanted to cut the horse's head out of here. Okay? We want to cut the horse's head out of the picture. Let me turn off the background again so you can see how this is going to work. So the background's off. We're not going to have a white background. Okay, I'm going to go select inverse or Shift Control I, if you want to. Now, this is the part it's gone from selecting the outer edge to selecting what's inside of here. All you have to do is go up and hit cut. And it's just that easy. Anytime you want to get out of the selection tool, just hit Control D and it will turn the whole thing off. And that's just that easy with using the selection tools. Now we're going to explore the other ones in the next batch of videos, so make sure you stay tuned for the rest of it. This has been Mark Elmo Ellis with PhotoshopTrainingForum.com, where we teach you how to clearly and concisely use Adobe Photoshop. God bless and have a great day.